The primer strikes on them are not very pronounced at all. If you look through there, you can see a clear indication that that bullet has actually turned sideways, and we're only at 7 yards. There's another tumbling shot, clear outline of a bullet right there. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of Jeep We're Outdoors. Today we're going to be doing an initial review, shooting review on the Sig Sauer P322.
Well, here's a little story about two friends that came together, and we started up a YouTube just to talk about whatever. We're on a boat catching big bass and smashing them cats, from review videos to just making you laugh. Cause we got guns, we got knives, we got fishing, we got hunting, we got everything you like, so hit that subscribe button. We're in the outdoors, doing things that we love. We're talking guitars, girls, green grass, and guns.
Okay, so it's not just going to be initial review. We are going to be running through all of these ammos, the Midas, some that shouldn't even have the pleasure of being ran through a toy 322 all the way up to some Stinger by CCIs. And we're going to try and at least get about 500 rounds through this gun today, which shouldn't be a problem. 22s are pretty fun to shoot, and ammo is cheap. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because we will be doing a shooting comparison between the 322 and the Glock 44. So if you're interested in that, please stick around for those videos. Okay, so we have not fired this at all. There's been no ammunition put into these magazines. I do know that I do have to sight this Hollison reflex sight in. It's way off, I can just tell by looking at that. But I think what we're gonna run with first off is the Thunderbolts. If it can run these Thunderbolts, it's going to run anything else. This is an ammunition that I don't rely on. I can't even tell you the last time I bought these. You can find them in a bucket for, that's just super cheap ammo. But it is right above the supersonic mark at 1255 feet per second. So we're going to load this up and give you my initial thoughts and impressions on the first 20 round magazine. I do want to make a quick note of this magazine loader helper. It's kind of like an Uplula, but not really. It just grabs these finger and thumb stubs right here and pushes them down for you. This has to be one of the easiest magazines I've ever loaded. You can see those are tilted up, these are not. Hopefully nothing's going to happen to that. Feels like it's going to feed fine, but we'll find out. That one doesn't look quite right. Okay, like I say, these are going to be the first shots ran out of this first magazine. First impressions though, if you guys haven't gone back and looked at my tabletop review, this is a very comfortable gun. It's a full-size gun, and I think it would be a great practice gun for any of the higher models of Sig Sauer 320 and somewhere in that area. But we are going to start off with the Remington Thunder Turd 22s. We'll just see how we like it on the first shots. Let me get my ears in. Okay, if I didn't mention, this absolutely needs to be sighted in, so I'm not going to be shooting at anything specific. Might see if the co-witness matches up a little bit or not, but otherwise we're just going to be shooting down at the hill at the end of the range. So magazine goes in just fine. Ambidextrous slide release. We're loaded up. Like I say, it is a very comfortable gun as far as the beaver tail and how high you get to ride this. Let's just go ahead and push the first one off. Thunder Turd, first round. That was the first round that you guys saw me shoot. There is not one chambered. Let's see how this works out. It picked it up and chambered that one. That was just the first round. I'm not gonna hold it accountable for that. I will tell you though, this trigger is amazing. Not really amazing, it's really good. Again, another failure to feed, and if you didn't see this magazine when I loaded it, I told you there might be some problems. Won't let me release the magazine. You can see how they're all dove down. That could just be the way I loaded it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go with the other magazine here real quick. This magazine appeared to load up just right. So we'll go ahead and put that in there, load another one in. But I'm telling you, the feel and this trigger, the trigger is super, super nice. Once you fall over there's a little lobe in here. You go through the first stage of the trigger and it's like a little lump, and then you're on the wall, and once you get on that wall, it's a really, really good trigger. The reset is it's kind of long and it's real plasticky. That's just a really nice trigger, and the recoil impulse on this gun is really nice, really nice. This is going to be a great gun to shoot. Super fun to shoot. I don't know if you could tell the recoil on that, but this gun is very, very easy to control. Very, very easy to control, and these Thunder Turds are some smoking, dirty rounds. So if you can hear the magazine in the background, we're trying to work the problem out of that. I think it was probably just the way I loaded it. That's going to be my excuse for right now, because I don't see why a solid plastic design, because these are super heavy duty magazines. We're going to see if it loads up just fine. But first 20 rounds. This is a very fun gun to shoot. Very comfortable. Like I say, it's not sighted in, so I'm not actually trying to hit anything. I can't. The co-witness of the sights isn't spot on, and the red dot, I'm sure it's a foot off down there at 100 yards, so not really aiming at anything. But otherwise, it's a super, super fun gun to shoot. Very comfortable. I'm going to go as far as to say this is one of the most comfortable 22s I've shot. I'm not a Glock guy, so my hands really don't fit those big blocky Glock guns, but Sig really has a good ergonomics. They have good ergonomics on their grips, and this feels really comfortable in the hand with the high finger swell right here, cut out, high beaver tail, good grip, not too rough, not too soft. Just everything all around feels really good on this. I'll tell you what I'm going to do though. Andy's back here loading another magazine, and I will get him up here on the gun and get his first impressions on this gun. Like I say, those were the first 22 rounds that went through this gun, so let's keep it going.
All right, so I recanted those bullets in that last magazine that he was having issues with. They look like they're all riding normal now, so let's shoot them and see if it works. Lock back. Yeah, I think it was just the way they were loaded in there. Super comfortable. Very, very comfortable gun. The trigger is awesome for a stock trigger coming right out of the factory. I like the trigger a lot. The trigger pulls nice. The reset's fine. It's 22. What can you say, man? It's It's hard to knock it. It's, but for a 22 platform, it actually feels like you're shooting a real gun, if you know what I'm saying. There's some on the market, like my Glock 44. It doesn't really feel like a real gun. It feels like an airsoft gun. This feels like a real gun for 22. I like it a lot.
Okay, so on the magazines and those not loading, I'm 100% sure. It's just the way that we're actually loading these. You want to make sure that they're all tilted up. We haven't loaded enough to actually know what the problem is. And I don't think it's one magazine. I just think that it's the way that they're being loaded in here. The double stack, staggered stack magazines on these, they can be a little finicky. You have to load them just right. Otherwise, they're not going to nose up on you and feed like they're supposed to. But we do have it sighted in. I'm just going to send off another 20 real quick of the Remington Thunderbolts. Have one chambered, I don't know what it is. It's a loaded light primer. Light primer strikes, that's going to come with the territory of 22. Quality manufacturing. So light primer strikes, I really can't put that on the gun either. That's just something that comes along with the territory of 22 ammunition. You either get good stuff or bad stuff, and with the Thunder turds, it's a mixture, and you're gonna have problems with it all day long. You can see all the smoke that's coming out. It is a dirty ammo. But I tell you what, the trigger just rides really nice. All right, just so I don't bore you guys like I already have been, we're just going to run off 20 rounds of each of these. I'm just going to put it on fast forward, and if there's any malfunctions that comes from any of the brands, they'll be right here on camera. I haven't shot this but 20 times, sighting it in and getting a little group over here. A little bit impressed with it, and I will bring you some accuracy shots after we're going to test all the reliability of all these manufacturers through this gun. So let's go with the Remington Thunderbolt 22s running at 1250 feet per second.
All right, now we're going to be running the Federal Auto Match. It is a 40 grain coming at 1200 feet per second.
Now we're going to do some Winchester 333. These are 36 grain at 1280 feet per second. Now that's not an ammo issue, that's a magazine issue. It did just eject really good though. Other than that one magazine issue that was a failure to feed, it didn't ramp all the way up. I'll have to look back at the footage and see exactly what it did, but I think it just failed to grab it.
All right, the next one we're going to be going with is this Winchester M22. It is a 40 grain coming at 1255 feet per second.
We're going to be shooting some Midas. There's not much info on the box on these. These are competition match grade bullets, so I'm not going to waste too many of these. These are a lot of money. Lapua Midas Plus. I'm only going to run 10 rounds. I'm going to save the other 10 for an accuracy group. I do know that these are low powered, so they are oiled. So they should run just fine, but they are low powered. No shot just fine. I don't know if you could see the difference in smoke out here from the Midas over the others either, but...
Up next, we're going to be doing CCI standard velocity, 40 grains, coming out at 1070 feet per second.
We got some CCI mini mags. These are 40 grain running at 1235. It's pretty smoky. I couldn't see through that cloud of smoke, but...
Up next, we got the CCI Stangers. These are a 32 grain coming at 1640 per second.
I can hear the difference.
You can feel the difference and you can hear the difference. But it liked them.
All right, so this next little bit, it's going to take quite a while to get these shots in, but we're going to run all of these on a 7-yard target. After I run my shots, I'm going to run down and mark them and indicate what brand and whatnot I'm shooting. And those are all going to be at 7 yards. Now, in order to actually seat your, if you're running for accuracy and you're changing ammunition, you need to run 5 to 10 rounds of your next ammunition just in order to seat the chamber. Is that correct? You need to seat that chamber just right with enough gunpowder residue that actually matches that case to get a more accurate grouping out of that. So what I'm actually going to do is load up 10, fire 5 off just randomly downrange, and then I'm going to run a group of 5. So I'm going to set you up, and I don't know, we might time lapse it, we might not. I might just bring you back and show you the target at the end, depending on if there's any excitement going on beforehand. So I'll bring you back here in a minute. Something happened.
With the red dot?
Something. All right, so I'm working on these tests down here, and for some reason it just started shooting like 4 inches off to the left. I bottomed my Holosun sight out all the way to the left. And then when I went down to mark my target, I noticed something, and it shouldn't be doing this, but it is, and it's one reason why I don't like threaded barrels. As you can see, this one is completely loose. So what's happening is downrange, I'm actually getting keyholes. Let me take you down there and show you. So, you know, when I started out, I started off down here with the Thunderbolts, shooting a little low, shooting at the number 7. Came to here, I was doing good. Came to here, I was doing good. Decent, started to open up. Stingers, they started to veer off to the left right here. The mini mags did good. The Winchester M22 did good. But then when I came back down to the Winchester 333s, I got this group clear over here. And so I was really confused about that. So I went center shot, and I still shot clear over here. And then I did a second grouping with the CCI standards, and they came over here. And right here is where you can really start to notice that it's starting to keyhole. So I wasn't sure about a couple of these somewhere. It might have been up in here, but I was like, those look like those bullets are turning sideways, like this one right here. But I just wasn't sure. But right here, if you look through there, you can see a clear indication that bullet has actually turned sideways, and we're only at 7 yards. There's another tumbling shot, clear outline of a bullet right there. So invalid test on that. I wasted all my good ammo, so you're not going to get any more of that. I don't have a wrench to tighten that barrel up with me either. So what do? Take it off? I don't know. That's just one reason why I think that threaded barrels, for if you want to put something on there, I'm not a fan of it. There should either be something on the end of your barrel or nothing. Keyholing. I can't call that a negative on the gun though either, because that's something that should be tightened and inspected after a certain amount of rounds. Maybe some Loctite put on it. That's going to happen with any muzzle device. But the gun's running flawlessly. The only thing negative that I do have to say is that when we look at the spent casings, I'll find one here real quick. The primer strikes on them are not very pronounced at all. But I think overall we've only had three light primers, and they're towards the beginning. We had a magazine issue with loading those. Loaded them all right and made sure all the tips were pointing up and everything ran just fine. So a couple of light primers is all we've had. It's a pretty reliable gun so far, but I do need to tighten this barrel nut down so that we can get some good groupings in. Nothing's more aggravating than shooting a gun that just wanders all over the place for no apparent reason. So anyways, I need to get that tightened up, and once we do, we'll bring you back out and get you a good sighting in on that, the good accuracy groups. But what we were doing, it was an inch. Had some that were a little under an inch. But other than that, guys, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to bring you back some more videos later on. And please stick around, because we will be comparing this to the Glock 44, accuracy, reliability, and whatnot. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stick around for some more action. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. We'll see you in the next one. I'm out.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I just dream of fishing while I'm going through my workday. I listen to my boss, though he's driving me berserk. Damn it, I can't take much more because my brain is really hurting. And now the bank is always calling and I don't know what to do. And I haven't bought a crankbait since like 1992. But the bass are out there schooling.